kill someone when people are paying attention. So my first message to President Macron will be, please don't forget Russian symbols of the 2020 protests. It is now a question of life and death, very literally, as well. And I think a lot will depend on what happens in the US. This than anything else. He wrote that nobody will ever again be able to divide us, between a left-wing camp and to predict how, when exactly they become. More than that, up until, very short. I was sitting in my cell alone, as always, when suddenly 2 prison officers in uniforms came into my cell and escorted me out somewhere. So they brought me into this prison office. There's a desk, a chair, a big portrait of Vladimir Putin on the wall. And on the desk, there was a blank sheet of paper, a pen, and some sort of a pre-printed template next to it. And so they said, okay, sit down and please write what's written there in your own hand. So I sit down and I look at the template, and it is a request for pardon addressed to Vladimir Putin, in which I was supposed to admit my guilt of all the quote-unquote crimes that I've been convicted for. First I thought it was a joke. When I read the paper, I just sort of laughed at them and said, what is this? But they didn't seem to be in the mood for laughing generally. Most people in the Russian prison system don't have a very good sense of humor. So I thought it wasn't a joke, and then I said, what, you really expect me to write this? They said, yes, please go and write this. I said, I'm never going to write anything like this. And then they said, why not? And they told me that I have 10 minutes to get up and get ready. And at that moment, I was absolutely certain that I was going to be let out and be executed. But instead of the nearby forest, they drove me to the airport. Prison convoy, I was in handcuffs. They took me to the airport in Omsk, a normal, regular civilian passenger airport, bursting with people. And after months and months and months in solitary confinement, when I could not as much as say hello to anyone, to suddenly find myself in the middle of a busy passenger airport with, people, families with kids, cafes and shops open, it was mind-boggling. I don't have the words to describe how it felt. I was placed into a solitary confinement cell. The door was shut. Nothing was explained. And this is how I passed the following 5 days. Frankly speaking, I know that how strange that's going to come out sounding, but frankly speaking, I enjoyed my time in Lefortovo, because after my prison in Omsk, this was like a resort. It was like a 5-star hotel. I had a bed. In Omsk, my bunk would be folded up to the wall at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't take it down again until 9 in the evening for the lights out. Here I had a bed in which I could lie, nobody cared. I had as many books as I wanted. I could write.